Hello everybody, this is the new video for Destiny of Cards. Today we are going to do a deck profile of the new Thunder Knights. It's not quite a new deck build, but some modified version from the latest set, Neo and Fossil, added some cards on it. It's a minimum changes to the Thunder Knight build. Okay, so basically the body is Thunder Knight Draco Archer. First, we'll go through the size 3. Okay, size 3, we run 4 copies of Infernal Armor Dragon. Okay, so Infernal Armor Dragon's effects is when you core cost is by paying 2 gauge, put the top 2 cards from your deck into this card soul. Okay, this card do not have a soul guard. So how what this card that go into soul do? So basically, if you soul charge one of the cards is Armor Dragon, you may choose one monster on opponent's field and destroy it. Okay, so the activate effect is during your main phase, you may discard like the 2 cards from this card soul. If you do right, destroy a monster on opponent's field. So this card itself can clear 2 monsters at one go during your main phase. The power from this card and the defense is the same, 7k each. Okay, and 3 critical. Size 3 Dragon World monster is quite a staple card for most tournaments nowadays for Dragon World. Next, we'll see 3 copies of Thunder Knight Buster Sword itself. Okay, that Buster Sword itself is one of the Thunder Knight's size 3 monster. Okay, basically it's 7k attack, 6k defense, 2 critical. So the core cost for this is by paying 2 gauge. That's all. And you can the keyword for this card is move and double attack. So this card allows you to attack twice. 7k power. It can clear most of the meta's defensive monster. Next, size 3 is 1 copy of Sky Blue Dragon Crystal Sable. Okay, Crystal Sable is having this 6k attack and 6k defense and 3 critical. The core cost for this card is by paying 2 gauge, put the top card into this card's soul. So this card has 2 keywords, move and soul guard. So it's another version for Buster Sword, but it has soul guard instead of double attack, but 3 critical. Next, we run 1 copy of Super Armor Dragon Gargantua Blade Dragon. Okay, so the core cost for this card is by paying 3 gauge. So when this card enters the field, choose up to 2 weapons from your drop zone and add to your hand. So it's a recovery for weapons in your drop zone. So the activate effect for this card main phrase is by discarding a weapon from your hand, you can destroy a card on the field. So you can actually destroy set spells or item on your opponent's field or anything a monster will do. And the good thing is you can also destroy cards on your field. Yeah, but who will want to do that, man? Okay, so you have 8k attack and power defense and 3 critical. So that's all for the size 3. Now we'll move on to size 2. Okay, so there will be 4 copies of this card's Drum Bungle Dragon, which is Thunder Knight's version. Okay, so the core cost is basically a core cost of 1 gauge, and you may put a Thunder Knight's card into this card soul. Okay, so it's an optional core cost effect for this part, which is the putting a Thunder Knight into the card soul. So you can put 0 or 1 copy maximum of Thunder Knights from your hand into this card soul. So if you do, this card gain soul guard because there's a card in your soul. Okay, so if you don't, the other 2 keywords for this card is move and penetrate. So Thunder Knights is quite a defensive deck, so there's quite a lot of move units. Okay, so this card have the similar Drum Bungle's power, which is 5k power, 2 critical and 4k defense. Okay, so 4 copies of it. Next, we'll run the defensive famous Halberd Dragon. Okay, 4 copies of it. Okay, so the core cost for it is paying 1 gauge. So the only keyword for this card is move. So you have 6k defense and power. Okay, 2 critical, 1 gauge. Next, we run the leader for the Thunder Knights itself, Thunder Knight leader, Commander Fail. Okay, so he have 5k power and defense, 2 critical, but is it just 2 critical? Look at the effect itself. This card core cost is 1 gauge, and all cards with Thunder Knights on your field gain 1 critical and the move ability. So this card itself is also a Thunder Knight, so this card gain 1 crit and also move. So it allows other cards that do not have this move ability, that's Thunder Knights, to gain this move, and of course it giving them 1 critical. So all the size 1 Thunder Knights, you gain 1 crit from this card, this leader itself. But we only run 1 copy because you only have a 5k defense. So against the current meta, especially from the cards from Neo Enforcers, most cards can actually go through up to like minimum 6 power or 6k already. Yeah, so this card is we just run 1 copy. Next, we go to the size 1. Okay, the body itself that we earlier saw on Thunder Knight Draco Archer. So Draco Archer basically is the effect is when you call it this card and enter field, if you have another Thunder Knights on the field, you may draw a card. So drawing a card in Buddyfight is quite important. Yeah, the drawing mechanisms rocks for Thunder Knights. Yeah, because this card is quite a popular card in Thunder Knights deck. It's a staple card. So you have 2k power, 2 crit, and 2 defense, 2000 defense. Okay, so it's a body. So normally for the first call for Draco Archer is you gain 1 life and draw a card. Yeah, so it's a good size 1 monster staple. Okay, next we'll go to the size 0. Okay, 3 copies of Boomerang Dragon. Gao Mikado's favorite true Gao formation cannot be completed without this card. Okay, so this card have 2k power, 2k defense, 1 critical. At the end of the battle that this card attack, return this card to the hand. So yeah, just like what its name said, it's a Boomerang Dragon, so it will be returned back to the hand. Okay, so we run 3 copies of it, and you notice that this deck is like majority size 3 monster, so a size 0 monster is quite important for you to gain 1 more attack from it. Okay, so 3 copies. Okay, that's all for the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells. Okay, we do run 4 copies of the staple card Green Dragon Shield. Okay, the effect is basically nullify the attack if the center you do not have a monster, and when you're during opponent's turn. So you nullify the attack and gain 1 life. This is the Dragon Wolf staple card. Next, we have 4 copies of Blue Dragon Shield. Okay, another staple card for Dragon Wolf. Okay, so same, nullify the attack when you do not have a monster in the center and during your opponent's attack. And instead of gain 1 life, this card let you gain 1 gauge. Next, of course, this deck's next key card for Thunder Knights is Draco Bond. Okay, Draco Bonds, 4 copies of Draco Bonds. Draco Bonds' ability allow you to protect the monsters on your field. How? Because most of the Thunder Knights have this ability called Move. Okay, so the effect for this card is basically if you don't have a monster in the center, you may cast this card, choose the monster on the field. During this turn, if the monster will be destroyed, gain 2 life and unify that destruction, so you will not leave the field. So basically, what you can do is during battle phase, when your opponent declare entering battle phase, you may cast Dragon Ball on the move unit and then move to the center. So you already have the Dragon Ball's ability. So if it will be destroyed, you gain 2 life and you stay on the field. Okay, 4 copies of this staple card for Thunder Knights. Next, we run 2 copies of Dragonic Grimroll. Okay, so your ability is quite simple. 5 life or less, then you may activate this card, and then discard your whole hand and draw 3. So you only can cast 1 Dragonic Grimroll per turn. So this card is a refresher for the deck. Next, the cards from Neo Enforcer. Okay, 2 copies of Draco Defense. Draco Defense is when your monster is being attacked, you may cast this card and the monster that is in battle, it gains 4k defense and counter attack. So it's a 1k more for Draco energy. Yeah, so it's a Draco defense card. So of course, you up 4ks. So most of the units in this deck have like quite high, quite reasonable defense power. So high chance your counter attack may destroy most of the meta monster. So Draco defense, 2 copies. Next, we run 2 copies of Dragonic Survive. Okay, Dragonic Survive have this good effect of pay 2 gauge, destroy a monster with power 6000 or less. Most of the meta monsters are 6k defense attack power. So this card can almost destroy most of the meta units. Yeah, so but we only run 2 copies because it's a high gauge consuming, 2 gauge to destroy a monster with 6k power. Okay, that's all for the spells. Now we enter the items. Okay, we run 3 copies of Twin Dragon Blades Draco Anthem. Okay, Draco Anthem is a weapon with 5k power, 1 critical. So but it can attack twice. So but this card have a downfall. You cannot attack monster on the left or right. And the equip cost is quite heavy. It's a 2 gauge, but it's a double attack weapon. So high chance your opponent will let you go through. And this card is basically anti Drum Bunker Dragon, because most of the Drum Bunker Dragon have 5k power. I mean defense. So if they place any of the Drum Bunker in the center, this card basically can just wipe it out by clearing the soul. So 2 attack, 1 soul guard, that's all. You can clear a Drum Bunker Dragon. So 3 copies of this card because it's a double attack. Yeah, this deck is like multi attack deck. So you can have the True Gao formation. You can have left size 1 Thunder Knight Archer, right Drum Bunker Dragon, center Boomerang Dragon, and you're equipped with Draco Anthem. So Boomerang attack, first attack, Archer second attack, third attack from Drum Bunker, Anthem fourth, and another time for Anthem. 5 attack in 1 go. The True Gao formation. The 5 attacks. Okay, so next we run 2 copies of Gao Mikado's favorite item previously, Sunfish Sunshine Impact. Okay, so it allows you to let your unit link attack with your body, which is for this deck is Draco Angel. So it will gain infinity power. Okay, total equip cost is 1 gauge, 6k power, and 2 critical. Okay, so we only run 2 copies of it because the body is Draco Archer. But you may change the body to Thunder Knight Drum Bunker Dragon so that your penetrate will be infinity. So any defensive like Draco defense of any similar effect like Draco energy, etc. You may go through the penetrate and deal successfully 2 damage. Yeah, so 2 copies. Lastly, 2 final cards is Dragon Arms Draco Keeper. 2 copies of it. By paying 1 gauge, you can equip this card. So any damage due to you is reduced by 1. No, it's not saying that attack damage reduced by 1. Any damage that's outside from battle. So meaning effect damage such as Penetrate or Spectral Strike, or even cards such as from Impact card other than like maybe the new Gigantic Crusher or Gargantua Punisher previously. You cannot, the damage from those cards cannot be reduced, but other impacts, if so long they did not state that the damage cannot be reduced, this card can reduce that damage by 1. So it's quite crucial. 1 damage do change the table, because as what I've seen from tournaments, there's someone who actually casts impact card that can be reduced damage, end up opponent only like still survive because it reduced by 1. So 2 copies of it, 6k power and 1 critical. Okay, that's all folks for this deck. Do stay tuned for Destiny of Cards. Please like and subscribe to the Destiny of Cards channel. Thank you.